So Derek, I want to get your feedback on something I'm actually like trying to start here. I'm
Sure.
actually like thinking of starting like a side podcast. I was like very inspired by what you do,
Hmm.
and I was wondering if I could get your like feedback on, just like I prepared a little clip, so I just wanted to
Hmm.
get your feedback on
Oh,
a
sick.
clip here.
Okay.
So okay, yeah, hold on.
It's exciting.
All right, here we go. Right.
Give the video a thumbs up.
And Derapy, season 3 of Derapy.
So, the thing about me is that I love to yap. But the other thing is, I also love Kendrick Lamar. But here's another thing to consider. And Derps, I need you to lock in on this one. I don't like Drake.
Epstein.
But I do love my wife.
My wife. You got me straight tripping, boo.
If only there were an album that aligned with my values. Anyways, here's my review of Nothing on You by B.O.B. and Bruno Mars. I give it an 11 out of 10. 11.
Beautiful girl.
And that was an episode of Derapy. Please enjoy this rap I made.
My name is Andrew Lee, and I'm here to say it's fun to rap in a podcast way. I got a lot of friends in my house. I got a lot of cheese for my spouse. My mouse. I also like season 2 of Dave, the TV show by Little Dicky. That's a pretty good show.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
So what do you think?
yeah. Honestly, sounds like a nightmare. I just it's like when people say, this picture looks like somebody tried to draw this person just for memory. It's one of those feelings. The idea that anybody might think that my podcast feels that way, it's sickening, which is really funny. But yeah, season 2 of Dave, not impressive.
What?
I am a K-bot. I do despise Drake and wish nothing but the worst for him. I mean, you pretty much got it. I do love my wife. That's not debatable. But yeah, that's wonderful.
Yeah, well, speaking of people who love their wife, let's talk about Chance the Rapper. On this episode, I've been
Oh.
meaning to listen to that. Click.
Remember that record that you bought me like 2 years ago? Well, I just remembered that it's sitting in the closet. So I called you up just to tell you I've been meaning to listen to that. I've been meaning to listen to that. Why don't you come over and talk about it? Ooh, ooh, ooh. Why don't you come over and talk about it?
That was made out of love, by the way. I just want to say, I respect you. You're a good person. We're gonna have some like spirited debate on this episode, but like I'm sure we'll have a great time as well. But
Really? Okay. All right. Sorry.
well, maybe I don't know. You're just like a naturally, you're a strong opinion, combative person.
Adam? Okay. All right.
I'm just
Well,
kidding.
now I feel defensive. It's a setup. Okay, sorry.
All right, everybody, welcome to the show. Welcome to I've been meaning to listen to that, the podcast where we go through albums we've been meaning to listen to and use that as a conduit to learn about each other and our guests. I'm Andrew Ambrose Lee.
I'm Stanley Philippe.
I'm John Butts.
Yeah, we got a guest here. He's a socialist king in that he wants to spread the bread. Please welcome Deryk from Derapy.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yo, like the video, yeah.
And we back.
Derapy, Derp Man, Derpy guy, whatever you like. I'm here to yap.
Hell yeah. That's big inspiration in the way I made my second podcast. But let's talk about Chance the Rapper. Let's talk about Chance. Me and John and Stanley, we did a Starline episode 2 weeks ago. And it's a fantastic review. I think it's my album of the year last year. But Deryk, what's your history with Chance the Rapper?
I have been familiar with Chance the Rapper since probably actually a really long time. Around the time that, because of the internet, Childish Gambino, his album came out and he has the song with Chance, Don't Tell Me. Favorite song. Yes. They had that track together. I heard that. I was like, oh, this Chance guy's kind of cool. I see them in like a video together when that album is rolling out. I'm like, these guys have a very similar energy. So I think that I like this Chance guy. I also heard a lot of friends of mine really appreciated the acid rap mixtape. I wasn't on like that side of rap releases, but you know, I respect the guy. I respected the art. And then I got really familiar with him when it came to the album that we're going to be talking about today. So I think that a lot of my fondest memories from college are associated with the album that we're discussing, which is why I'm very excited to talk about it. I leapt at the idea. I was like, of all the albums you could ask me about, what a great idea. So yeah. Chance the Rapper is always been a good guy that makes good music in my book, all the way up until that big thing. But we're not going to talk about that. We have to get into that.
Let's talk about it a little bit. Let's just like here's a hot take. I want to like because like I know you like to react to hot takes, but here's a hot take that I have is, and I said this 2 weeks ago. My hot take is that the Big Day is better. If we're talking fourth albums, the Big Day is better than Cherry Bomb.
Okay, that's just not what I was expecting. So, yeah, you know what? They're both bad. They're both my bad. Take so. The bar is incredibly low.
Okay. Here's what my defense. I think Cherry Bomb, the highs are way higher. Smuckers, Okaga, California, Find Your Wings, Two-Seater. Those are great songs. Like belong in the Tyler canon. But the lows are unlistenable, or the content is so gross that like it should disqualify it. You know what I mean?
Honestly,
like,
you naming the positive tracks from Cherry Bomb actually made me totally disagree with you, because those tracks are good enough to revisit the album, and there is nothing good about the Big Day. Nothing. Like, I would argue that none of the songs are good. Maybe one. And
what's the
hit
one?
Rate is, I don't know, because I never go back to it. Like, I was just being generous. I don't even know why I said that. I was just trying to be nice, and I don't know why. The album's horrible. Like, I revisited it when I was doing like a Derapy / Chance the Rapper edition. I'm yapping. I'm taking over the show. I'm sorry.
No,
I tried to listen back to it. It's not good at all. Cherry Bomb has good songs. The Big Day does not. I feel like the conversation ends there, but
5-Year Plan. What's it called? You got Rue.
That might have been the one.
You got Rue. You got Zanies and Fools. You got Zanies and Fools. Like, oh my God, that third verse is so beautiful. Like,
oh yeah. Assuming people
you
make
got
it there.
You got Handsome. Baby, you look good. You like handsome. You know, like
Christ. Oh, I don't know if you're trolling or not.
Me and my girlfriend like sing that song together. Like, just as like a semi joke, but that like became a real thing.
I can appreciate, like, I can understand the appeal, like, ironically. Like, you guys probably enjoy it because like it's silly. Like, it's a cute, silly track, but it's not seriously good, is the point.
I think it's way below Chance's standard, which is the problem. I also think both Cherry Bomb and Big Day were stepping stones to get to where they are now, which is like another echelon. Where I think like I think now that we have Starline and Starline's so good, you kind of like forgive parts of Big Day because you need Big Day to get to Starline. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, I just like to like operate in this world where the Big Day doesn't even exist. But yeah, if you're looking at it altogether, big picture, it is. I think Starline is made better by the fact that the Big Day is so bad. So I can respect that take.
I think it's.
So does that mean that coloring book becomes a little bit worse? Because I feel like there's a lot of Big Day hints on coloring book that he builds on, and so if you're saying that Starline is better because of Big Day, does your coloring book appreciation decrease because of Big Day?
I mean, like what? Like I think like an example, like a parallel is like Donda, where like it was cool when it was happening, but now we're seeing like the Donda instincts like up to an 11, and like it's like disgusting and gross and awful. You know what I mean? So like I feel like it's like that's like the worst. That's like the most extreme example, but like that's like kind of what I'm thinking with that.
Yeah, I think that you know what? I just feel like I got a hint of what's to come, and I feel like I am going to get combative, and I'm just apologizing in advance.
We love you, Deryk. You're a good person. We admire you. We look up to you. But yeah, like
This
let's
the weigh-in.
yeah.
I'm just a guy with music opinions. It's not that big of a deal. I mean, but also who knows? Look, my thing is, I don't think anybody here is being disingenuous at all, and they probably won't be. But I just think that there are certain things like I joke about everything. Like I do a comedy show, but I think that like when it comes to critically acclaimed albums and like what is good and what is bad, I think it's like incredibly important to be as honest as possible about the music. I will hear critiques of certain things, but like in certain like just for example, just a extreme example, if somebody's like, I don't like the Thriller album, I'd be like, okay, but can you understand why everybody else does? And if they're like, no, then I'm like, all right, well, just stop listening to music then, because like some things are sacred and they're not worth really arguing about seriously with people. I'm not saying we're gonna get to that level with this coloring book album.
I don't know. Seems like you're
And you
doing
know,
some
you know what's
prefacing.
sacred? The big day, because marriage is sacred. Like,
But like,
loving
okay,
your wife
on
is
the other
sacred.
hand, I feel the same way the opposite way. Like people that like to downplay how bad something is, I also think it's important to like not do that. Like with the Carter 6, for example. I'm a huge fan of Lil Wayne, but if I try to like pretend as if that album's not that bad because I like him, I'm doing a disservice to everybody that listens to my show and myself. Like you only live life once. Why are you lying to yourself about what's good? It's stupid.
Yeah, I'm being genuine because loving wives is good. Anyways, like let's talk about let's go back. Let's talk about coloring book though. Deryk, you said this album was a big part of your college, like surrounding a lot of the most like memorable moments of college. Like, could you elaborate on that?
Absolutely. So this album came out in 2016, which we can all agree is like one of the best years just ever, just generally speaking. I saw memes about that in the past like month or two, and then I started thinking back, and I was like, that was a special year. And Coloring Book was a part of that. And I will preface everything I'm going to say for the rest of this conversation with like, I recognize that nostalgia can lead to some bias. Okay. So for example, a song like All Night, where it's just like 2.5, 3 minutes of somebody just screaming about drinking all night. You drunk, big fella. You wobbly. You're gonna fall. It's like I could understand why somebody thinks that's not really important at all. But if you're somebody that drank to that song like 50 times with your best friends, then you're gonna have like a different feeling about it. This girl that I had a situationship with, her favorite song at that time was No Problem, and we danced to that song together at like a frat party. I felt things that I hadn't felt in a significant amount of time. So it's like that album, it released at a really pivotal moment in my development, and I just have specific memories attached to it. It's like my attachment to like old Lil Wayne joints. You just can't tell me that they're bad, but I'm willing to hear that more than I am the Coloring Book, which is a Grammy Award winning album. So yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Like, what about
What
John?
do y'all remember what it won for? Real quick on that.
Best rap album.
Are you serious?
Yes, I'm dead serious. Yes,
He won Best New Artist, I think, like that too.
That's also such a silly award, but they should just rename it like breakout artist, like best breakout artist, because Chance the Rapper is not new in 2017. But yeah, I watched his speech earlier today, and he beat out. Let me see if I can do this off the top of my head. Views, Major Key, De La Soul, The Life of Pablo.
Whoa.
Yeah, I know. It was. I care about this a lot.
Yeah. Okay. So the other one was like best rap performance, No Problem. Like that one, like won a Grammy too.
Yes.
Yeah. But like John and Stenley, were you around for this album? Like, do you remember this album on a sensory level like that?
A little bit. I feel like I was mugging around New York City. You know, we talked about it a little bit on the Starline episode where I feel like my most visceral memories of this were like in transit. So like on my feet, getting from work and odd jobs and all that kind of stuff and just hearing it blare out of people's speakers too, like no problem. But I don't know. I feel like I kind of memory hold this album a little bit. Like returning to it, I don't know if I like felt those sort of, I don't know, transference from yesteryear to now and like on emotional level, similar to what Derapy's saying. So yeah, Coloring Book, I remember listening to all the time. I just don't have any key events associated with it other than commuting.
Yeah, I'm with you, John. Like I was trying to think like, what was I doing in 2016? I can't even remember what I was doing back then. Like, but I do remember the coloring book was important. Like I think there was like a weight to this album, and I remember being happy that he won. Now looking back, it's kind of weird to be like, whoa, like he beat Drake Fuse. Like that's it's a bit wild, but it's oh sorry, Derek,
Hmm.
with all due respect, I know you hate Drake,
I
but
don't.
but
Okay, okay, okay. Views is continue. I'm gonna do a whole thing. It's fine.
But that year though was wild, man. Like Lemonade drop, Blonde drop. Like there's so many
Blonde was, yeah,
amazing.
not too long
Oh,
before
that was,
that.
oh my
I was
God, what a
probably still
great
on
year.
that, low key.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like there's a lot. 10 years goes by, and this is like a classic year for music in general. Again, it's very cool that like within that classic year, here's someone who had a build up and delivered a project that I think met the expectation. So I think that probably is the biggest thing that I remembered is that like wow, like Chance actually delivered something that was, what it was supposed to be, and so it's hard to kind of review this using your 2026 brain. So I'm gonna try to use my 2016 brain on this one and like be very kind. Not
Oh
that this is
man.
bad,
Whoa.
but it's
I
just
wasn't
different.
intending on doing that, Stanley, but maybe you can pull me back.
I'm just saying it is different digesting this with a Starline palette, like
Hmm.
versus having just a coloring book palette. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, like 2016, like, it's probably like I remember seeing that on social media. Like the 2016 was the last great year, and like I obviously it was the end of the Obama era, and then there was like it was like right before the Trump era. So like there's like kind of and then like all this great music came out, like a lot of great hip hop albums like that are seminal now that like are like pillars of like our taste, a lot of people's taste. Like for me and Derek, I think we're close to the same age, like around our sort of like age group. For I think I'm speaking for myself, like the last year we had like the idealized view of culture, the idealized view of like kind of certain people and such. Like we kind of like Hamilton was big. Like it was kind of like that was like kind of like, and it made you kind of believe in the American dream. And then Obama was president, and like man, 8 great years of diversity and such. And then it just like the rug was pulled under us, and like we all revealed like it was revealed that like oh, America's built on these really people knew, but like I think for maybe me, I was like a young guy, like kind of and naive and such. So I think like there's that, and then like then the Me Too stuff happened, and then like the like one by one our like heroes fell. Like I think over the last 10 years, like one by one, just like it's and just like it's sad. It's like I don't like being disappointed like that. It sucks being like disappointed, like cynical, and just like beaten down by just like bad things happening for 10 years in a row, like with
I
the
think
Trump
it's
era. Yeah.
I think it's fair to say if you are between the ages of like 24 and 36 or whatever, you would look back at 2016 and be like, things were, if I could go back to like that feeling, that time where American society was at, where music and culture was at, it's like we didn't realize how good we had it, at that time. I think that things just in general are a lot more complex and a little more downtrodden now. But yeah, I mean, it's just one of those situations where, frankly, if you were in college at this time, good for you. Blessings all
Yeah.
around. What a great time.
Yeah, yeah. Like I guess like for me, like in terms of like this album, like I want like so at this time I was in college and I was doing this animated web series thing. And I was like I kind of like got a lot of like people in my town to like do animation, do voice acting, write the scripts and stuff like that. I was like, I had this vision for myself based off like the social experiment thing of just like this conglomerate, this community of friends making art together and such. But at the same time, like I was very like depressed. I had like undiagnosed ADHD and autism and such. And like, so through like kind of like that unresolved trauma, I alienated a lot of my friends and like I had like a lot like just like by not knowing how to like cope with my like big emotions like I it's and just like and then it just went from like depression to like bliss of like collaboration to like the like shame and all the it was just like go back and forth like wild. And then like this is like the year I converted to Christianity. Like this is the year. So I had a big Jesus
Oh,
phase at this time in my life. I had a big Jesus phase. I'm still Christian, but like it's I think when I look at that time, it was a response to my mental health. I needed something to like kind of give me hope, give me some sort of like context, give me some sort of like things. And then like this
great time for
album,
coloring book.
yeah, exactly, exactly. So this album came out and it was aligned with that like bliss and that like clearness and that like love I felt for the universe and the world and such like that. I felt like after experiencing like very, very dark times, I felt like there was a fountain of love that was just like overflowing and I could just give love to people like just like as just like an infinite resource. And I would just listen to Hamilton, I would listen to Pablo, and I would listen to this on a loop, just like those three things on a loop. And I remember being so happy. Like that time in my life, I remember being so happy and so blissed out. And so like, and then when I look back on this album, I only remember the happy stuff. I only remember the good things, like listening to this album. And I think that's the beauty of what music can do. I think that's the beauty of like reflecting on something 10 years later. You can kind of like put aside the 2026 brain for a little bit and 26, yeah, 2026 brain for a little bit and just like revisit those happy feelings.
I have to ask this question.
Yeah.
Did everybody here listen to the album either like in the last few days?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay, cool. Just making sure. Like I listened to it one time, like I did just a walk by myself earlier today. Granted, I was like reading random stuff on Reddit about like the bear and like but like I was listening to it and then I listened to it again right before this stream when I was like playing chess just waiting for this to start.
Oh, culture.
And yeah. Yeah, just a little flex.
Well, Queen's
Yeah,
Gambit over here. Like,
yeah, and for me it was very easy to just like put myself back there. I was thinking about like the specific moments from this album that resonated with me. And I recently put out this little podcast episode, this little series I started called 7 Minute Drill, where I tell these little stories or these little tidbits in 7 minutes. And one of them was talking about this drinking game I used to play in college. And I just remember hearing these songs in the background at times, and we'd create playlists, and some of these songs would always make the playlist. And I even remember like visiting back home, seeing my family that year, and actually feeling comfortable playing the majority of the album in front of my parents and them actually enjoying it. And that for me was like such an awesome moment to like have my mom hear these two songs called Blessings or Angels or How Great, and her being like, who is this? This is this is a rap album. I'm like, yes, mom. Yes. It's
I had the
great.
exact same
Award
thing.
winning.
Yeah. Yeah, like
So
my mom and dad like just didn't really like rap music at all, and like it was just like it was like a unifying thing to like like, okay, this is something we can all enjoy, like while driving in the car together or something like that. Yeah.
Hey guys, if you're enjoying the episode, please consider subscribing to our I've Been Meaning to Listen to That Patreon, where for $2.99 a month, you get access to our I've Been Meaning to Watch That bonus podcast feed, where we cover movie musicals, we cover concert films, we cover musician biopics, and it's just a great time with our co-host Stephanie Senior, and it's all just for $2.99 a month. So please consider subscribing, supporting the show. We really love doing the show, so it'd be greatly appreciated. Okay, love you. Bye.
Yeah, I guess let's talk about themes though. Let's dive into the content of the album. Just like I have a few things here, just like really quickly. I think just a big theme is like bro is absolutely like blissed out. Like the little, like the little laugh he does at the beginning of the album, like him going like, like that's not a laugh you laugh when something's funny. That's the laugh you laugh when like your life is splendid. Like that's the life you laugh when like everything's absolutely peachy, that you're smiling through it all. You can't believe this is your life. Like that's the type of laugh so that's how it starts. And like I think like it's just the bliss of being a recent convert, the bliss of formulating a new family unit, reunited with your baby mama, like the bliss of like I told you so, like all those people who doubted me, the bliss of I'm anointed, the bliss of representing your city, your creative collective, that your leadership is the reason you and your friends are headlining this festival at Wrigley Field, the bliss of the stars aligning, and the bliss of like, yeah, just that's just like a big theme. That's just one thing I wrote down. But what about you guys?
Yeah, along the lines of bliss, but like just like self-actualization through like self-confidence, gained from everything that happens before this album, from being the kid who was doubted by the school system and had to take a 10-day sit down as if he was a troubled kid, and to being on Kanye West's, a very pivotal album, some would say. So it's only natural for the feeling that is contained in this album to like emerge. But yeah, definitely that self-actualization through self-confidence.
Can I say like just like I think it's also like the assuredness that comes with like alignments to an artistic lane that's like constructive rather than destructive. Like because like the thing he was doing before was he was like doing the acid rap thing, and then in a interview like 10 years later after acid rap, he said, if I continued down the acid rap path, I would have died. Like I would have like just like kept like escalating the drugs and stuff, and like I was like separated from the person I loved, and I was just like and then like I remember him saying something to the effect of like I was just in a very dark place. I was living in LA. I didn't care about. I was just like really in a dark place, and I just like blasted Kirk Franklin through the house, and that really like kind of rejuvenated my spirits and stuff. So I think like this is like, and I think that was like kind of the direction he wanted to head with the music, or just like I want people to feel how I felt listening to Kirk Franklin blasted through the house.
Also kind of felt like he was getting slapped on the back of the head by Ye. He was like, you gonna put these gospel choirs on this album. I don't know if that was really happening, but I don't know. Just felt that way.
There was this really cool thing that I'm trying to get the exact release date. Hold on. The Life of Pablo release. Because I remember having this take. Coloring book is what Kanye thought he was doing with The Life of Pablo. And I just kind of like sat with that like for the rest of the year, because The Life of Pablo came out in February, and then Coloring Book came out in just a few months later in May. And I remember hearing Kanye's album and being like, this is awesome. I love this. If Young Metro don't like, that was a great time, a great album. And then when Chance's album came out, I was like, this is like an evolved version of what I heard, but it's leaning more gospel and less just kind of all over the place. We're bleaching t-shirts, we're bleaching buttholes, etc.
But this has like the Juke.
I think they're
this album has the
companion
Juke joint
pieces.
in it, yeah.
That's another take that I have. I think that Life of Pablo and Coloring Books are companion pieces for an artist who is starting to see pinnacles and one who has reached theirs and is jaded by all that comes with it. So I think they sit very comfortably next to each other. I specifically draw that correlation between All Night and Fade, and I was going to get into that when we talk about the songs, but yeah, I would say that, and even better served as companion pieces because they were released in the same year.
I was gonna say I totally agree with that because I think I know Ye was trying to do a gospel album and I think he succeeded, and I think Coloring Book is a gospel album from someone who is newly kind of appreciative of the blessings, whereas I think Ye's gospel album is someone who's been tested by God. And so there's a lot of doubt in that testing. It's kind of like that moment even Jesus doubted, and the moment like why would you put me on this cross? Like why'd you make me suffer? And I think that was the conflict that Ye was kind of going with. And so there are moments of, beauty and like ultralight beam, and then there are moments of bleached assholes, which you happen when you pray. And so we're on the other end, Coloring Book, there are no bleached assholes. Like with Coloring Book, it's very much whatever your natural taint is. That's what it is. And
at most,
so
there's a smoke break. At most,
yeah, at most, right? So it's like there's a beauty in that, and an innocence. Like I was watching the Tiny Desk that he did in 2017, and it was like he had this really kind of childish, nervous energy, kind of like, oh shit, like I'm here, like I'm actually here, and I think that's reflected in this album a lot.
I mean, it's like a few things it's like when like a new star emerges and then they meet all their heroes like for the first time. It's like there's a lot of joy in watching that, especially if you were there closer to the beginning, especially even if you're like there acid rap 2, then you still felt some pride of like, I watched this grow, I watched the evolution and stuff, and now he's on the mountaintop. And the other thing is just like, I think there's also like, this was the time where there was like Ye was leading the culture in a more positive direction, and there was like a positive feedback loop with Kanye and Chance, where like this is Chance's graduation with like firmware updates basically, and this is like kind of a 2016 version of that kind of stadium status. The lyrics are more simplified. Most of the songs are anthems. Most of the songs work like singing together and feeling good, and then like Chance informed the sound of Pablo and probably Jesus is King. And then like there's a positive feedback loop going on where like they were taking and giving, and they did features on each other's songs. It was like at this, and like that was, I think, part of why this time felt so good musically. Like I think there's a more, now everyone's like combative and angry and like it's like beefing and everything, and I don't know, just like it was like everyone had their own like part of their ecosystem, and now it's like they're all trying to destroy each other. So yeah.
It's nice to see that Chance hasn't really engaged in that area, in that arena of hip hop. I will say that not that it matters all that much. I totally don't think that the life of Pablo would count as any, like, I think that Kanye might have marketed it as like with a gospel influence, but I don't think there's that much God on that album. Being all the way
That's
for
fair.
real.
Yeah.
It's talking about driving 30 hours to beat somebody's ass over a laptop.
Yeah.
Like I do think that there's
sometimes God calls you to beat someone's ass. You know what I mean?
Who knows? He works in mysterious ways. But I think that there are most of the track list from Coloring Book. Like there's really only one track. Literally one, where I'm like, this shouldn't be here at all. You could probably guess it in maybe 2 guesses, but
Juke joint or All
Nah,
Night?
mixtape.
Okay.
It is in fact Mixtape. I think
Okay.
oh
man, I don't know where we are in this conversation, but I feel like
tap in.
I feel, and I hear y'all 2026 glasses off, but I mean, when we think about albums standing the test of time, and giving them these sort of accolades of classic status. Like, yeah, it won its Grammy, but like hindsight is 2020. For me, this is either one of the best mixtapes ever, or it is an all right album. So I think Mixtape has to like play in that and has to be a part of that. And if he's claiming that, even on Wikipedia parentheses Mixtape, if he's like really saying I'm from this lineage of hip hopdom, and we have set mixtapes to the side, I'm going to elevate it, and what is on this project can be loose and it can be improvisational, it can be long at times or indulgent, then as a mixtape, this thing is fire.
Okay,
but
but
when we
sorry, go ahead, John. Go ahead, John.
I was just gonna say, but when we think of it as an album, does it reach that classic status? I'm always concerned about statuses in that way, but
because I think Derapy, Deryk got it right. It's like, if we are to say that Pablo was maybe marketed as gospel but ended up not meeting that expectation. Similarly, like, this is being maybe marketed as a mixtape, but with all intents and purposes, it is an album. Like, I think we should view it as an album
They
because
submitted it for album of the year.
Yeah, and the intention of the mixtape was to prepare your audience for the actual album. And so for this to be the project that then is, winning out rap album of the year, he tours on this, like, he really builds the foundation of his whole career off of this. It almost kind of then says, like, well, was this just a fluke that this hit if you weren't expecting it to hit like an album's supposed to hit?
Also, if you're asking whether it's a classic or not, that's you saying that it's a great album. Like, you.
That's interesting.
I mean,
I don't know.
If
I don't know. I think
it's like
ding ding.
yeah.
I don't think I would go to a place where, like, it's a class. I think there's like a difference. There's like prominent artists who have an album that like defines their peak in a sense, and then like that's their classic, so to speak. And then there's like the grand classic that like the majority of people would agree on if they have any sense of what they're talking about. I think that this album, in a sense, and I'm going to refer to it as an album, and I'll talk about Mixtape too in a second, because I think that's just, sometimes people just have bad ideas, Like, I think the point of Mixtape is that he's just trying to remind you that it's not his album. And that's why, like, even the feature choice is intentional. Like, these people from the SoundCloud era, like Lil Yachty is a mixtape kind of guy. Like, Young Thug is a not serious person, generally speaking. So we're going to have them on this fun track that is totally out of place on this project. But it's just Chance saying, this is all great, but why doesn't anybody care about mixtapes? Because at the end of the day, this is just a mixtape, which I don't think it is. But I just think that it's one bad, and I think that one bad track does not take away from an album being incredible, one of the greatest.
But if it's a mixtape and the song Mixtape is on there endorsing the fact that mixtapes are important, does that not fall apart? I'm a little stuck.
I can understand. I can see it both ways. I'm choosing to accept it as an album because it won an award for an album and it was submitted as an album, and most people refer to it as an album. I think that the mixtape track is kind of just like a cheeky nod, but I don't think that it's like indicative of the project.
And Overly Dedicated was an EP, but it had albums length of songs. Like,
and also, like, this
is it the accolade? Is it
nobody
the accolade?
thinks that Overly Dedicated is like an album, though. Like, nobody thinks that, do they? Like, I don't think that's a thing. Like, I don't think there's debate there.
Okay, I'm derailing the conversation.
Well, like, first of all, he's completing a trilogy of mixtapes. So, like, I don't like, just like the Ascension is pretty, like, he was just like a high school guy. Like, granted, a very impressive very, very impressive for his age and like the reach he was
It's
able
like
to do.
Pokemon.
Yeah.
This coloring book is Charizard.
yeah, exactly.
It's his Raichu. Yeah.
Yeah. But like it's like this is like if he wasn't doing that and he was like trying to make an album at this time of his life, I think it'd be pretty much the same. Like but I and also just like we're having like a few conversations at once because like the classic conversation, I think a classic is different from a masterpiece, first of all. Like, just like a masterpiece is perfect or near perfect, and a classic just like cements itself in its time. And I think it does. I think Coloring Book does that. So I think it's a classic, but I don't think it's a masterpiece per se.
Well, it can't be because Mixtape is on there.
But yeah, like
But isn't classic equal
not a classic.
timeless?
It's not a
Timeless.
classic.
it's
It's a
not
2016.
classic.
It's a classic when you listen to it in 2016. It's not a classic in 2026. So therefore, it's not a classic. It just, I think like it's like if someone breaks a record, right? If it's like, hey, for the longest time, this was a record for numbers of games played in a sport, and then someone breaks that record, and all of a sudden, the old record is no longer a record. Like, so this for me, it was something that had that classic importance, but then he delivered a classic in Starline. Like Starline is, to your definition, a masterpiece. And so if we know that that's a masterpiece and Coloring Book does not meet that level.
Deryk is doing the chance face here, just like like the surprise chance face.
Interesting.
That for me, that's it. Because like all the other albums, like if you look at like a Black Album, or I'm thinking about Jay a lot. So the Blueprint, the Black Album, like these are all like cemented 5, 10, 20, 30, 40 years later, forever in time, you will look at the Blueprint as a classic, even though he has other projects that may be better. It's still a masterpiece in its own right. This is not a masterpiece, and I do think Mixtape plays a role in that.
I think also like because I'm reminded of this album because of the 10-year thing. I'm
Yes.
reminded of it. But before that, I played this album so many times I played it out. And then now 10 years later, revisiting it, I'm like, this is good. But does that make it? I don't know. Like, I think it is, but we'll see.
Um.
Okay.
This is all made up.
Right back.
Okay, go for it,
I'm
Deryk.
gonna get a brewski. 1 second.
Okay.
Oh
man.
I love it.
Yeah, this is
Top in,
fascinating
top
stuff.
in. I needed this energy because it's like I'm like, what else do you talk about? We did the chance already, but this is good.
This has to be done. I'm sorry.
No, you're great. You're good.
Okay.
Oh, you missed when I did it. You missed when I did it. I was like, I did it while you were talking.
You see, never mind. I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try not to derail the conversation by the whole like Starline masterpiece thing.
I've
That really
already
threw me
done it.
off, but I'm just gonna
do
let
it.
it go.
What? No. Let's examine this. Like, what? You don't think it's? I guess like.
No, it's good.
Yeah.
It's really good. I think that Coloring Book clears it relatively easily, but we don't.
In
All right, y'all.
In terms of bars, no. Like in terms of like rap skills, Starline clears this. Like
Peaks, Starline is better. I think that consistency, Coloring Book, it's not.
oh, that's
even close.
interesting.
Yeah. Because there's I have to look at Starline. I haven't. Hold on, let me pull up the track list. Like No More Old Men, The Negro Problem, like those are unbelievable tracks. Like great.
Okay.
Drapetomania even grew on me. Like it's an incredibly fun track. I find the tracks like towards the back end to be
The best ones.
tedious is the kindest word I can think
Oh
of.
no, we cannot use the word tedious and not reference coloring book.
Okay, Coloring Book does have 2 outros. It is how great is there are some self-indulgent moments, but it's hard for me to really critique it heavily because it's like it's for the love of God,
Yeah,
literally. Like
no, that's
what
what
do
I
I
was just
look
about to
like?
say. We need to see, just we need to root this album in literally what Andrew said at the beginning, in like the sort of the proto hope core that this album is, and like the optimism that existed in the pre-Trump era. If we center around that, then sure, I will give all of the credit where credit is due. But motherfuckers in 2026 are jaded. We are broken. We've been beaten down, and this is it's a little hard to reconcile the fact that we are so far from that like positive environment.
I think that's why Big Day was badly received, and it wasn't as good as his previous stuff. But like, I think just like I made this joke about Katy Perry of like, there's a tweet on election day 2024 where like Kathy Griffin is like, long or short, whatever it is, I love my red hair. And then like the reply is like, Kathy, not right now. So like that was the big day. That was the big day. And then he pivoted to meeting the moment with Starlight. You know, I think it was just like, why this is what we're identifying before of like color Big Day being a continuation of Coloring Book, and um Big Day is like Coloring Book to like the nth degree, like to just like ramped up to a 10. Like all the things that are good, all the things that are bad are ramped up to a 10. And then the way he's able to continue his career is pivot to, okay, we got to refocus and like address the now. And like I view Coloring Book as his version of TPAP, and I view Starline as his Damn and Mr. Morale. Of just like TPAP is my idealized vision of America, and Damn and Mr. Morale is like, damn, America's not that way. How do we fix this? You know, I think that's kind of what I'm seeing with
Yeah,
that.
and I don't even think it's necessarily all that serious. I just think like he was a kid back then. So there's an immaturity, there's a lack of experience, there's a lot. So for where he was at, this is great. But again, like, and I've been using a lot of sports references lately, but it's like a top shelf like recruit that still needs time to develop in season and then reaches its peak at 4 or 5, 8 years into their career. And so when they look back at their year 2 or 3 self, yes, they were maybe like all stars, but they were not the player that they became years later. And so for me, like Chance at in 2026 is just a more refined. He's doing the hope core thing, but he's doing it with a purpose, with an intensity, and with an actualization that, like, hey, if this doesn't work, then we have to pivot to this. Whereas in Coloring Book, it's like, yo, it worked. I got my 3 mixtape run. I'm on Ye's album. Like, I'm never gonna fail. Oh my God, I'm winning a Grammy. Apple Music wants to make a thing of me. Like, everything worked out, you guys. It's so cool. Like that's Chance in 2016. And so I can't fault him. Like this is not I'm not dissing Coloring Book. Coloring Book is so good. I'm just saying like once you get a chance to digest something a bit longer, at some point you will say, yes, it's my favorite meal. Or you might say, yeah, I had a good time with it. Like Deryk said, like it was cool in college. I listened to it and I resonate to the emotion that I felt. But the music itself, if we're going to be objective, like you said about the Thriller, if you're going to be objective, you can't tell me that like Smoke Break and Mixtape and
Hmm.
Finish Line, shout out to T-Pain, like any of these tracks are anywhere near the quality of the tracks you find on Starline. Like he just wasn't able to make a Starline in 2016.
Smoke break
Okay.
kind of fire though.
So, yes. I didn't like Smoke Break. I used to not like it. And then I listened to it today and I was like, the shit
It's
kind of
up.
slaps. Like what because it's not, because I think that like a very surface level view of it is this guy's just talking about like getting high and relaxing. But it's actually about like giving somebody else a break. It's about like being there for somebody and trying to like alleviate their stress. Like it's actually, and also Future, who is very, very hit or miss for me. I think that I'm like the most skeptical Future listener because 90% of the time I'm like, I can't relate to this shit. I don't know why people listen to this. But Future actually comes in and it's a good verse that he articulates well, and it's really it's just a good song. And I think that it also falls in line with the just general themes of the album: peace, bliss, taking care of yourself, even if in this case it might be with weed or just like a nice back rub. Like it's just like a nice song. And I don't know if I can accept any slander about Finish Line, Drown, either of the blast. Like they're just so nice to listen to. Like I can't pick a part of the tracks and be like, I didn't need this.
But that's the point.
If you want to harp on the fact that there's two outros, that's fine. I can't argue that because they literally are. But the fact of the matter is, I enjoy both songs.
Yeah, but that's the point. They're just so nice, right? Like classic material, classic art isn't about being so nice. It's about being extreme, right? It's about extreme emotion. I feel extreme sadness, happiness, love,
This is
hate,
extreme happiness. You know
denial.
what we would say? Like
This is just really, really nice. It is a perfect day after going to church on a Sunday, and it's so nice to see your grandma, and all of these things are super nice. But there is no moment of conflict. There is no moment of questioning if the resolution is going to be there, and so you're kind of on a one tone. Like think of any really good movie. There has to be a moment of what the fuck, and then hopefully some resolution. We've resolved in this album. It is all resolved. It's all good, and therefore it makes it less memorable because it's just like nice.
And any allusions to that darkness, we get a little light, touchings on that here and there, but it pivots immediately back to what
Yes.
you were just
I don't know
describing,
when that
Stanley.
girl farted on that seat. That was like that's like the what the fuck moment. Like,
I think I pretty I haven't given this a lot of thought. I think the idea that something has to be extreme in order to be like legendary is kind of interesting. I think that there are certain like really impeccable, incredible songs that aren't extreme, but I haven't given it a lot of thought. There aren't a lot of songs that I can think of off the top, but I know that there are songs that are delusionally optimistic, but are quote unquote like classic songs. Like the first one that comes to my mind is like Pharrell's Happy, which is annoying as fuck because we've heard it too much, but nobody would say that that song didn't have like global impact, but it's just like a dumb happy song. And I think that you can have something that's like dumb happy and still be awesome. Also, the idea that there's like not any conflict on the album is, I wouldn't say that I wouldn't say that it's like extreme, but I think that the concepts on songs like Summer Friends and Same Drugs are definitely talking about like not ideal situations.
Those were the two songs that I was thinking about.
Yeah,
And those are my
I was
two favorite
referencing.
songs. Those are my
Yeah.
two favorite songs.
they're extreme. It's like
Also, I think there's, I don't know if it's one of those songs. It probably is, where he's like the labels like trying to keep me from making songs with my friends. Which track is that?
like
That's on,
finish line, finish line. Yeah. Labels tell me to my face that they own my friends. Like
That's not conflict in the last song, like in one of the in one of the outros.
Well, he's just talking about like how he can overcome that because he's independent. Like it's not in a light of I'm about to help them out. It's like I don't have to deal with
Yes.
that. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
That's what I'm saying. It's resolved.
So he
there's
has
no
to
conflict.
have. So there has to be problems for it to be great, is what you're
No,
saying.
no, no,
and
no,
this
no.
song and there's no problems like on the track.
There is a track called No Problem.
Literally no problems. No, I don't think that negativity is necessary for classic status. I just mean evoking extreme emotion, right? So the song Happy, it was extremely happy. So it evoked that extreme emotion, and it was linked to a movie as well. So I think there was that vehicle. But the songs here, like Same Drugs, for me is like the best. I guess we're getting into like best songs or
Let's talk
whatever.
about
but-
highlights. Yeah, let's say yeah.
But for me, it's a highlight because of what you said, right? It's like there is this tension and this questioning of, wait, like, are we going to be able to move forward? And then I think the resolution does kind of appear a little bit. And I'm biased because I really like Francis and the Lights, so I am being emotive in that sense because I love artificial emotion, and that's what it sounds like. But like a finish line, that resolution, he's already solved that problem for his friends because he's celebrating being an independent artist and having independent records. So he's actually not looking to rely on the record labels to help.
A- And perhaps what you're identifying is it's a false resolution. Like it's not like the has the independent scene gotten better 10 years later? Like has the circumstances for artists like gotten that much better after the chance revolution of this album? Like I don't know. Like I don't think so. Like it seems like kind of the same. He released this album for free. Um and then now all music's free. Like now all music is basically
Feels free.
free.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's basically free. And that's like I think like it's a revolution in that the TV show Fargo, like the guy says something along the lines of like in science, like a revolution is like when a celestial object goes in a circle, but in America it means change. But it's like it's kind of just like this is a revolution. We're gonna change the world and we're gonna be free, and then we're just back in the same spot, maybe worse. You know, like so. I feel like there's a false like that. Maybe that's what you're identifying, Stanley. A potential part of what you're identifying.
Yes, but that only works if we are going to look at this from the 2026 lens, in which case then I have to insert Starline into this kind of conversation, and then that trumps this. But if I look at it from a 2016, it is resolved. In 2016 slash 2017, Chance set out to become the biggest, most successful independent artist. And by virtue of this album dropping, being number one, winning Grammy for rap album and best new artist, he succeeded. It's like done. He's got the Beyonce moment. It's like done. So what are we talking about, right? And then the follow up is the big day where he's like, not only am I resolved, I am super resolved because I'm getting married to the love of my life. That's also my baby mama. So everything is all good on my end, folks. Like, and then people hate it because they're like, yo, I don't want to hear about
Can
your
we talk about
resolution.
the sociopolitical situations of the world? As like like
Bro!
Jaden said.
I was no, I just had this flashback when I was doing a live stream about Chance the Rapper in like in its totality, and after we tried to listen to the Big Day, we were looking up these videos of like Chance the Rapper like getting twerked on and like after the Big Day, and it's just really funny in hindsight. I do think it's important to always like clarify the conversation or the argument if we're having one
Oh, sure.
of the lens in which we are viewing the album through. Like when I review music, for example, I do like a series of podcast episodes or I'm just talking about like an album. I I go and I meet the album where it's at, if that makes sense. So, like for example, this is related but not related. When I first heard Igor by Tyler the Creator, I didn't really like it that much. And then my friend, longtime friend, roommate, whatever, best friend, he was like, "You have to meet it where it's at. You know, put yourself in his shoes, listen to it. Like, stop trying to make it a rap album. It's not." So I met it where it's at, and I was like, "This on its own, by itself, separate from whatever else Tyler's ever made or whatever he made after it, it's awesome. It's one of the best things I've ever heard." When I think about this album, when it comes to because I'm just big on like, is the music quality or not? Like, is the production great or not? Are the features great or not? And I find myself when I listen to each one of these tracks, I believe in a vacuum is how people would refer to it. Almost all the songs are good. The production is great. The features are great. And I think that like retroactively being like Starline was so awesome that it makes this album not as good. I don't agree with
I
that
like
like
that. I
line of
appreciate that,
thinking
yeah.
at all because I think that if it's great, it just is great. I think that whatever happened before or after it doesn't affect the quality of coloring book, if that makes sense.
I appreciate. I love that perspective. Yeah.
Yeah, I could take that. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Derek, you're a new co-host now. Like Stanley, take a hike. Like, you just earned your spot. This is like, yeah. Yeah, like but Derek, what's a highlight song from this album? Like let's talk about highlight songs. What's the highlight song?
Where
from
do
this
I
album?
begin? Okay.
Yeah.
So, as far as a traditional rap performance and, just overall hype, No Problem is the best. I think that the single most slept on song on this album that I love, and I think is a 10 out of 10 track. It's my thing. I copyright that. You know, a lot of people copy the Fantano scale on albums, but do they do it with individual tracks? That's my thing. I do that. Angels, 10 out of 10 track. Absolutely love. All Night. Nobody on planet Earth loves All Night more than me. But
I don't know, man.
I totally understand that it's, you know, you got to be in a specific moment. Like if you're sober and it's 11 o'clock in the morning and you're like on break at work, like obviously no. But in the right place, it's perfect. And so yeah, No Problem, All Night, Angels, and I think it was Summer Friends. Summer Friends like hit me in like a special spot today. So yeah, that's those are my highlights. But you know, I have great things to say about many of the tracks, but I'll leave it there.
Yeah, I think we've hit the word classic a lot, and I think just thinking about No Problem, obviously that was a single, it's the lead track, but at the same time, like the features complement it so well, and the energy that's there. Wayne gives us a Carter 3 adjacent type verse where it felt like it was a pinnacle of his ability, and 2 Chainz, one of the best lines of all time. I'm so high, me and God dapping. Oh my God. Love it.
Just
Love
one
it.
of multiple great lines for 2 Chainz in that.
Yeah.
Yeah. No Problem is like undeniable.
Yeah, that song makes me feel like I could run through a wall like that. Just like I could like accomplish anything. I could like overcome like the systemic things. Also, just like shout out to the Ellen Show performance of this song. Just like when like Lil Wayne did the changed line of just like, and if Cash Money try to stop me, I'm gonna let him rob me. Yeah, right. Like Ryan Lochte. Like, where nowadays I'm like, who's that? Like, but I think yeah, Deryk, what you said about like the sound of the album. This is the only song with like real like percussion. Like there's a lot of like 808s and claps and snaps. There's not like a lot of drums on this album, but like this is the one song of like kind of a drum. I just like feel it's like it's soft, yet it's hard, yet it's like it made me feel like I was disrupting the system while also being a good Christian boy at the same time. You know, that was my feeling around the song.
It's the single most like conventional rap song on the album. And I think that if you're only going to have one, I mean, to have it be that second track, which I think is like such a, I think the most underrated placement of any track on any album is the second track on an album, because it lets you know like, oh, are we continuing with the momentum of the first, or is it totally different? I mean, All We Got is just, you know, that's it speaks for itself. It's really wonderful to even rein Kanye in, so he has like a relatively normal contribution to the song, and then you have the choir, and then that's straight into No Problem, which is this hype, and then to bring it down with Summer Friends. I think another underrated part of this album is the sequencing of the tracks. I think there was a lot of thought and care put into that. Even like Drum singing Special. I bet there's some people out there that would skip that track. Sing the whole thing every time. You are very, but like that shit bangs. Like I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah, the No Problem placement, it threw me off when I started re-listening to this like last week. I was like, wait, No Problem already? Like for some reason I thought it was almost like, you know, 4th, 5th, 6th down the line.
And yeah, problems. No problem now.
Like we got problems already. So that, yeah, I agree with you 100%. Like that definitely tonally kind of goes, oh, all right, we're gonna do this here, which I think sets up the beginning. The first half of this album is like chef's kiss. There's really like zero misses. I think from All We Got to Same Drugs. For me, it's like bang, bang, bang. It gives you different emotions. Like it just kind of tells you who Chance is as a person, as an artist, as an emotive human being. And then what was the other one we said? Oh, All Night. Man, All Night. I don't care if it's 11 o'clock at night, in the morning, if you're on a smoke break, if you're at a dinner party. That shit is just, undeniable,
It's so
happy,
fun. It's
fun.
so much fun.
Like it just makes you want to
That's-
dance.
Yeah.
Like it literally start dancing. Ho, like yes, I
I
will. Start
genuinely can't imagine. Like that's the single song. Like if I was trying to be a sober person, that's the song that would like have me relapse. Like that shit would fuck me up. Like I can't imagine not having access to alcohol, listening to that in the comfort of your home. Like it's just it's so good.
Yeah, maybe that's why I don't love the song. It's like because I like don't really drink that much. Like
That's all it is. That's the only
Yeah.
reason you're hating.
Oh man,
I do love the
regardless.
Trump
Sober
outro
brain.
with the trumpets. That's so cool. I really, yeah.
Y'all need to go listen to Fade into All Night. I swear it's the same party, just different perspectives. Go
I'm gonna
listen
try
to
that.
Fade.
I'm gonna try that when I'm walking my dog.
Yeah. I broke my
got
groin
similar
doing the fade dance.
bass lines. Yeah, they got similar bass lines going on there. Yeah.
Yeah, I think like just All We Got is my highlight. I think All We Got, no problem, just like that. Let's continue the optimism. Like I'm a superhero party. Like I actually like I think Summer Friends is fantastic, especially this listen. But like I keep going back to those two songs because I just want to feel like that. But All We Got is great in terms of like it's just like it primes you to listen to this particular album. Like we're gonna listen to this, we're gonna listen to Coloring Book. Like this is like what it is. And then like I think his bars are a step down from acid rap, but it's like kind of what he like the impressive like flipping words, turning the phrases. He doesn't do that on this album as much, but he trades it in for like this confidence and this calm, assured confidence that again is like what happens when you're aligned with your like your spirit and like your purpose and your family and all these things. And he's aligning himself with like rap royalty, the Andre Kanye Beyonce thing. I think like also the music is all we got message is a very interesting one because music is the one of the few avenues where Black people are heard and listened to on a mass level. Like I think like not everyone reads books or poetry. Sports players are not really encouraged to talk or be political, and you could distill messages of independence in a 3-minute song, and then you could also make them feel what it's like to be free. And like these two songs do that better than almost anything I've ever listened to. So.
Yeah, I really, I don't know. Listening to this album, I get really stuck on All We Got's mix, and like, I literally like bolded it as a highlight, and then like struck through as like maybe a low light.
Wow.
I'm just like did not know what to do because when I've never been able to reconcile when Ye comes in, like those vocals. Like
Yeah, it's like this
completely
weird soothing,
on top of the
it's
entire track. But if you listen to it in like wanting to hear what Kanye is doing, that part is amazing. But if you want it to fit into like the mix better, then you're like, this is really hard to listen to and hard to enjoy.
I also wish the choir was mixed better at the end. Like it's like the Chicago Children's Choir. Like just like I wanted that moment to like just hit you like a brick, and then it kind of just like comes and goes, and it's just like mixed lower than the Kanye part.
Yeah,
So.
and that like the auto tune that you hear on that track, you don't hear anything like it anywhere else on the album. So it's just kind of like
Francis is kind of doing something like that, I guess.
yeah.
But like, yeah.
I would say that like the vocoder sort of auto tune layering is announced as a thesis, a sonic thesis on this project.
Yeah, all I'll say is if the rest of the album sounded like All We Got, I wouldn't like it. Like I wouldn't enjoy it.
That's
But I think-
really fair.
But like as an opener, like it's good. It's fine.
Yeah, and I think the synergy, like John was talking about with the Pablo album and this, like having Ultralight Beam open up Pablo and he be on that, and then on the flip side, having Ye on this. And I think there was also this anticipation because we're all like, oh, wow, like Ultralight Beam, Pablo, like he helped write Waves. You know, what's going to be the thing? What's going to happen? Like, how is Ye going to be here? And it's like almost like Chance did this, like, you know, prologue, not prologue. Is prologue the first one?
Prologues
stupid
before,
question.
I think so. Yeah, I
epilogue
think
is
so.
after.
Yeah. So it's like a prologue, like to Derek's point, to the album. It's like, all right, y'all know me and Ye, whatever. Let's do the Ye thing. Let's address something that's important. Like the idea of going independent. At that point, like Ye was really pushing the title stuff with Jay, like kind of ownership, owning one's music and recognizing that importance. That's done. Okay, now let's kind of go into Chance.
He didn't
And it
sign
kind
me,
of
but he's
allows
proud of me.
yeah, you know what I mean? Like that allows us to kind of like separate from the Pablo wave and then allow Chance to be independent, which is like a big, again, theme of this album is the independence of the artist. And so he's now independent of the thought of what Pablo was, and now it's
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
Chance project.
And let me show my skills as like composer, as a band
Yeah.
leader, as like kind of like and oftentimes in this album, he doesn't have the best verse on some of these songs. Like he sets like J Electronica to slam dunk, or like No Name and the Kirk Franklin thing. Like it's so I like the Future verse too. Just like we're building to the Future knocking out of the park and just
That's
like
The
such
Yachty
a great
verse.
point. Like he really knows when to get out of the way and like let other people have a moment because there's certain artists I did not expect to slander J. Cole today, but fuck it, I don't care. J. Cole is the type of artist where he's like, I don't want any features. It's all me. I can do all the voices. I can do all the parts, and it's just like you
what do
should
you
know.
know after me?
J. Cole, you got to let other people come in and shine. Like you got to collaborate better. And this album does an incredible job of like usually if there's sometimes there are artists, they have features on every single track and it annoys me. I'm like, I feel like you can't do this on your own. Randomly, this came to me. Drake's Certified Lover Boy, for example, all the features are like, I feel like they're here because you're trying to fill time and they aren't even
Yeah.
really adding all that much. Like super random, but like Jay-Z on Love All, like that shit's boring. Like Kid Cudi at the end of that album, I'm like, what are you even doing?
I like the
Like,
Kid Cudi feature.
Oh,
on
that
song.
song is fire.
I guess. I think I'm just tired at that point in the album. But what I'm saying is
Fair.
all the features on this album are so like I don't think there's I mean, you know, outside of Mixtape. Everything's great. Like all the features work for me.
Time and time again, they told me no.
When I heard that today, I was listening. I was like,
Am
was
I
having such
the
a
only
good
one
time.
that care about cover art?
I kind of like it.
Oh, damn me.
That's so fun. It's funny we're doing that because the cover art, or we're doing this album, and we're talking about this song because the cover art for Broccoli went viral this week for how bad the design was, and like the word broccoli was covering up where they had started to design like the text. You can see like an other
Seeing it right now.
yeah, it's ridiculous.
so
Just had to throw that out there.
Shout out to Broccoli. What a good song.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, like Yachty and Thug as a texture on this project, I don't necessarily mind it per se. I like that, you know, at least Young Thug and a couple other folks are like recurring characters on Chance albums, like Wayne, and it's nice to showcase like the music brotherhood, so to speak.
Is there like a bet to see how long we can go without mentioning Juke Jam? It's like, do y'all know that's on the album?
That's a
Or
little
if, like-
light for me. Yeah, I don't like that
Okay,
song.
okay.
I think I like, we're kind of like hodgepodging highs and lows, but I feel like I like Smoke Break as like the sentimental like love song more than Juke Jam. And I think because I'm old that I'm more comforted by the idea of an established partnership where you're just giving someone a break versus the courtship phase.
Yeah,
like
like
I'm
pining
so
after
past that, you know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
like the maturation of like, hey man, it's been a tough day. Let's fire up. This is like our love ritual at this point. We're already set and already in stone. So to me, I feel like those two songs, Juke Jam and Smoke Break, are kind of battling tonally and like kind of like tempo wise, and I favor Smoke Break.
Yeah, he's kind of like aged, like having a kid, and then like all the career success he had, like aged him 10 years from acid rap. It feels like he aged so much so quickly in a positive way, in like maturity wise, like not just like oh he went through so many traumatic things, more than just like a positivity, like having wisdom, having like this solid foundation and stuff like that. So like I just like feel, which is why I'm like I don't care for um all night. I don't care as much for Juke Jam and such. You know, like I kind of I don't know, like yeah. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
all night's certainly better the younger that you are. And I think that Juke Jam, I'm at the place where it's not good enough to where like I would argue about it, but it's not bad enough to where I'm like get it off the album. It's just fine. I get like it's fine. It's just Justin Bieber, no matter how many years he's in the game, I just can't take him seriously as like a sensual. I think it's because we're close to the same age and like I watched him grow up. It's just like him and Chance trying to be sexy on a track. I'm just like, all right, bro, just okay.
yeah, yeah.
And there's a like an underground rapper that released an album this same year, and I think they have like some like ties to Chance. And the Juke Jam beat is on that album. The song's called Lord Please. And the rapper's name is Faye, and it's like the content in that song is like the relationship with God. So like anytime I like hear Juke Jam and understand that this other kind of underground song exists and like the content of the music has much more depth, I'm just like,
That's the bleached asshole of it all.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah. Speaking of like bleached assholes and the opposite of those, like I think like, like I love Drown.
A dirty mouth. What is the opposite of a? No, just kidding.
Look, Jesus is the opposite. Okay, like, like I think like Drown and Blessings too, get me like in my third, like I'm 31 now, like get me the closest to like Jesus is real. Like the extreme feeling. There's an extreme feeling, but the extreme feeling is peace, you know, and that's like it doesn't feel extreme, but it is extreme, and that like it's rare and like it's a counter to the other types of extreme feelings. And just like when No Name's like, and all that was left to us is love, and then it just like blows up. It just like, oh my God, it's so good. And then the choir at the end of Blessing, like that's like that like last passage of like blessing is just like I play that with my family and it makes them happy, and I play that like in like non-Christian spaces, and it's like it makes people feel good, and like Christian spaces it makes people feel good, and it's just like this it's like this unifying song. It's like this assured peaceful song, and that's like it's that kind of peace I want to feel, and like I do feel when I listen to those two songs. So yeah.
Yeah,
Anybody else have any like lowlights that they are like
Yeah.
outside of mixtape? It doesn't, and maybe all night, just depending on what stage of life you're in. It doesn't sound like. So what I'm hearing is Juke Jam,
Yeah.
mixtape, and all night are the only ones that people are kind of iffy on. Is there anything else that we don't like? I'm taking over the show again.
well, for me, it's like I'm cool with Juke Jam or Smoke Break.
Mhm.
I just don't think that, and I don't think I should say I don't think they're bad songs. Like Mixtape is good. It's just for me within this context, I don't think I needed Mixtape. I don't think I needed both Juke Jam and Smoke Break. I don't think I necessarily needed, Finish Line Drown. I don't know if I needed it as much, because I think Blessings gives me like that resolution, that finality,
Yeah.
that peace. And so I don't think I needed to double down on it. And again, maybe it's just a product of us being in 2026, like John said, like, and kind of feeling a bit more jaded and not wanting to digest all this at this moment. But in saying that, like again, like I think Mixtape, like Young Thug and Lil Yachty, like they did what they're supposed to do. I think all the features are bang on. Like they all did their jobs. And again, just because a song doesn't fit doesn't mean they don't fit the song.
Yeah, it's like I don't know exactly what I said about it earlier, but if I did say that I like didn't like it at all, it's I would like to revise the statement. The song's fine. It just shouldn't be on this album. Is basically all I'm saying.
But it's a mixtape, so like they're lower stakes, you know.
Hey,
like it's
there
just
you go.
like yeah.
But never mind. I'll save it. Save it.
Well,
No,
like,
we need it now, bruh.
What do you
No,
mean?
I don't.
say
No,
it.
I don't want to derail again. but, like,
Derail. Ding
this is
ding.
a Derapy episode. Like
It sounds
you know,
like you're scared. I don't know. You should probably just say it.
You want
think-
zero problems, big fella.
No, I'm not. I don't know, because I don't feel like I have the entry point for this thought, but like there's something about this album that is like at odds with itself. And if Chance had done maybe like a Stone Mountain Kauai approach to this, where there was an A side and a B side, and then we could get more of the All We Gots, the No Problems, the mixtapes that kind of had that kind of hardcore hip hop, and then we round out with the B side that had the more optimistic. I think this would be a little bit more focused and digestible for me, but instead I'm, thinking about these gospel tracks that kind of run on, and some of these tracks are really formless, and then some of them are very formulaic. So I think that's where I get a little bit uncertain about where I stand with this album and how successful it is. I think, I don't know, kind of pulling at straws here, but the formlessness that he thought was a creative choice and like trying to extract the most from his ideas, like I see that and I hear that, but it is, like I said, at odds with itself, a little polarizing against other tracks.
You're right. You shouldn't have said it.
Damn.
No, Damn. I totally understand. I understand what you're saying.
but you're wrong. You're dumb. I hate you.
He's right. John's right.
But it's such a bad idea. Like,
why is it a bad idea?
Nah,
So Stone Mountain Kauai was successful.
Let me push back.
We're still singing Pop Thieves.
Let me tap in.
Please.
I know
please.
you missed it. Love.
Yo, this is I think John nailed it, because I think it's like the difference between having a record that's filmed over 24 hours and one that's filmed over 24 days. And I think what he's trying to do is almost fit everything into a 24-hour period where it's like Saturday night into Sunday morning. And he's trying to convince us that I'm both the sinner and the saint, that I'm both the night owl and the churchgoer, that I'm both the volunteer and the bouncer at the club. And what it causes you is to be confused by who you are. And at the same time, not offering exit ramps for us to find other forms of resolution. You're just kind of stuck here in this 24-hour loop. Whereas I think what John is saying is that, like, if this was divided into almost like a 2-week period, where week one, like, this is a chance experience where, this guy is having to deal with some shit and people are pissing him off, and he's going to find a way because he don't want problems. And yes, this is a mixtape, and we're going to have a juke jam and all that kind of good stuff. And at the same time, it's someone who has a very great foundation in God, in family, in love, in his community, and he's able to always go back to that. So if that album was laid out that way, then it kind of gives, and for me, it's like the GNX of it all. Like, GNX was like, it brought you here, it brought you there, and for me, that's why I called it a mixtape, ironically. And if it was packaged in like a side A, side B, then it's like, yo, what kind of vibe do you want? And you can go and access that if you want to, or access the whole trip. I think, John, is that what you're trying to say? Like, does that make sense?
Yeah.
I hear it. I definitely hear it. I think that, and you know what's so funny? Every time somebody brings up like a point that is supposed to be like in a different direction from what I think, it actually feels like it kind of bolsters how I already feel about it. Because it didn't occur to me that how great coming right after All Night is the church service after the all-night drinking binge, which just makes it more brilliant to me, frankly. But I also think that the versatility of this album is part of the reason why it's a Grammy Award-winning album. Like, I think that
was my only thing
so
that I was
great.
thinking, like, if there was the counter argument, it's the fact that all of these ideas exist in one place, and that could elevate it. But I think me personally, as you were saying in the beginning, where people's entry points may be different, but that doesn't mean it's not like worthy.
Right,
I think
right,
me
right,
as a
right.
listener, that's what, you know, where I dock it, where for someone else it might elevate it.
I could understand why somebody would have that preference. Like it's
Oh,
not
that's
a
cool.
it's not an offensive take, you know. Do I think it would make the album worse? Yes, but I can understand why you feel that way, you know, because there are some tracks that feel like they're contrasting. And frankly, I think that an album like this would probably work better as a, you know, two-part thing than like I feel like a lot of people are trying to force double albums, and most of the time they don't work. This I could see the concept working, even though I don't think it's necessary. Like because I think of an album like Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, that makes perfect sense. Scorpion, not so
No.
much. The fall off, the fact that you had to tell us means that you weren't that confident in the concept. And I think that there are some things that don't work perfectly there, but I could certainly see the two sides of the coin of this album. But yeah.
Derek, like how many times, you know, you were talking about how, like this was very college for you, and like, you know, you're listening to, you know, No Problems and All Night. Like how many times did, like, I don't know, How Great, you know, pop up on your college mix or a playlist?
Oh, never. Like not once.
You know, this
But
is what I'm saying.
yeah.
So it's like, so that's where it's like, you know, the fact that that this album is cemented in that time of your life, and there's such a real connection to it, but it's really you're connected to a couple of songs that were, you know, really consequential in what you were doing in that time. And again, I think this is where it becomes an interesting conversation. And I think part of the reason why we're going all over the place with this is because it's too nice. It's too
Yeah.
nice. Like the album is too fucking nice. And so it's like, what can you say? We could have been done this in 20 minutes. Like, yep, nice album. Great job,
Very nice.
Chance. Next.
Very, very nice.
But there
Very good.
has to be some type of, you know, conflict that we have to muster up. And so I'm loving that part of the conversation for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And like for me, like the Jesus-y stuff was like really resonated with me at that time in college. And like not as much like the all nights and such. Lowlights, stray observations. Like I think how great like the singing, like I think it's beautiful, like the when the cover of how great is our God. I think it's beautiful, but it goes on a long time. Like it's like the John Mulaney joke of like, hey, What's New Pussycat is a lot longer than I remember. Like just kind of like it's like and then Jay Electronica's verse like this time was like, oh my God, like he is one of the greats. I hope, and I remember saying at the time, like, I hope he doesn't put a Diddy feature on his new album. Like that's what I thought at like in 2016. That's what I said. This is a true fact about me. I said it to my friend.
Yeah, I'm
Hmm.
thinking like in terms of like
I'll cut that.
in terms of stray observations is just like oddly now that I'm looking at it, I think uh if we're not counting Mixtape, which I just like to pretend doesn't exist, Justin Bieber's probably the worst feature on the album, which is pretty funny to think about. If you're not counting Mixtape. But also I think that How Great does feel like two different songs, to be fair. And I was listening to it earlier today, and as much as I enjoyed it, I did find myself being aware of its runtime, which is not like a good sign. Like Finish Line and Drown, I didn't know until literally today that it was almost a 7 minute song because I've always loved it that much. It's just a good song to me. I'm not thinking about how long it is. And I think that the only other stray observation I have is that just that like Summer Friends is just a better song than I remember it being, and Smoke Break is way better than I remember it being. I think my initial thought was this is similar to Mixtape and that it doesn't really belong here, but I never really thought about the lyrics all that deeply. And when I listened to it today, I was like, oh, it's a good song. And it just kind of like boosted the overall rating of the album for me, which was already pretty favorable. But we'll get there.
I feel like Smoke Break for me kind of like transcends this album in like solo listenability, and like it fitting alongside other songs, like if you're like curating playlists and such. do have that as a highlight. In terms of like stray observations, like the tone, we've talked about a lot about the optimism on this album, but it's that piece in Same Drugs where he's like, don't forget the happy thoughts, all you need is happy. Why not kids, why did you do to your hair, what did it, I like I like, really,
I mean, when you do it like that, it sounds kind of silly.
I mean, it definitely sounds a little silly, but I don't know, I just would love to have like a chance retrospective on like some of these elements and kind of speak to whether he thought some of these choices were successful. That was one where I was like, man, like this guy is really high up if like he's whispering to me about like
like on that note, one more stray observation about that song. I never realized like the way he was saying, I didn't even know he was saying dandelion. He's like dandelion. I was like, I'd never heard anybody
guitar
say dandelion like that before. I didn't even know he was saying that word until today. But
yes, Same Drugs I have a lot of conflict with because it feels closer to like a writing exercise than it does to a song because there are so many stray elements, but then it's like maybe like the sparseness of that arrangement is what makes that song so beautiful because like the string quartet does not it's not at every moment, but there are accents of the string quartet and then like those oohs of the choir kind of just vamping and repeating and like the raw sound of that piano. I mean, that's another area I guess that I was kind of conflicted. Like, is this song great because I can hear all of these things clearly and they sound very intentional in where they're placed, or is this an underdeveloped idea?
I'll have an answer.
The ascension in that track was actually like really good. Like it didn't occur to me until today. Like that we don't like it feels like it's constantly rising for me, and I felt like I had a really kind of grand conclusion.
I have an answer to your thing. I think he's Bruce Springsteen. Like I made this point before, but like when the thing about Bruce Springsteen is like the albums themselves, like I love the albums themselves, but people like real Bruce Springsteen fans are like the live. Now I don't really listen to the album. I listen to the live version of it, and like it's filled out, and it's just like the live version of Same Drugs is so gorgeous. Like he puts like a Alicia Keys and a John Legend like kind of lift in there. Like it's so gorgeous, and like I think like a lot of these are like kind of bare bones for I'm gonna perform this over and over and over again. Like this is the skeleton here.
Yeah, like is there some residual like social experiment like ness here? There's like Coloring Book is bleed between Pablo and Donnie Trumpet's Social Experiment a little bit. It's like the intersection of those two projects to some extent.
Well, this gives me like Let the Beat Build, Lil Wayne, Car 3 vibes, like, and it's kind of like almost like bringing you into the studio while I'm developing the song, but making it an official, fully produced kind of project or record. And so I think from that kind of rawness and almost like he's orchestrating in real time and let us know. And someone was saying like this song is about Chicago, and so from that perspective too, kind of like that idea of like him reconnecting, and the more he gets back into step with Chicago, the more there's this kind of fullness or this reveal of what Chicago means to him now, and it kind of like crescendos into that kind of like ending part. So and then questioning, like as he's saying, like, why aren't kids being kids? It's like he's looking around, like being like, oh shit, like, the way I remember Chicago was as a 12, 15-year-old, and now I'm seeing like, oh fuck, like things aren't really that great. Like, why is that? Like, why did the world abandon Chicago? And what can I do to help? So kind of like that reading as well.
That pairing with Summer Friends of just like your childhood is interrupted by the plague of violence. Just like, you're going to summer camp and then people are dying. It's just like, and then the summer school getting to losing students, but CPD getting new recruitment. So like, there's no one coming to save you. In fact, the city's actively going to make things worse. And then like, I think this album is a very much a response to him being a parent now, where he's like putting aside childish things of like doing drugs and being irresponsible and picking up childish things of like baby toys for your kids and like while also reconnecting with your inner child. So
Yeah, this album might be better than I think it is.
yeah. Okay. Like we gotta like end soon, but like I just want to like run through my stray observations. Yeah. Okay. Stray observations. Francis and the Lights is the designer to Bon Iver's future. Just like like a little like
No, no, no. We're not gonna say that. No slandering Francis and the Lights. I will not allow that to happen.
Eh.
I like it when he like did the vocoder of like I like that. Okay, so that's one. Okay, Jesus, Black Life Ain't Matter, and the line about what's it called? God, good God, the gift of freedom, Hosanna, Santa invoked and woke up slaves from Hampton to Chatham Manor. Like there's some pre-Starline stuff here. There's some like kind of alluding to kind of revolutionary texts and such, and like the Jesus Black Life Ain't Matter, like especially as linking Jesus to the black plight and all that such. Fantastic. Oh, and finally, my last thought is just like it's a fun fact. Like Lil Yachty has a famous cousin, right? She was on How I Met Your Mother and The Penguin. Her name's Kristen Milioti.
Dude, her eyes are insane.
Milioti.
Oh, quick little trivia for you all. I was thinking about earlier. Artists naturally do like exchanges instead of payment. Do any of you happen to know off the top of your head what Justin Bieber song Chance the Rapper is on?
I know that like Confident.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm impressed. I love that
one.
song. That song was dope.
Tattoos, piercings, and she learned to twerk.
Oh nah. Bro, I'm a
also
long time believer.
Also, the Christian song they did together is so bad. Like I think like like
I memory hold that. I don't even know what you're talking about.
Life is short
You
with
call
a temper,
Holy?
like Joe Pesci. Like
Oh God, that sounds like some big day shit that I might.
Yeah, it is pretty. I can't defend that one. Any other Shay observations?
I like the part where he's like, "Good God." That's pretty funny.
Yeah. Let's go through final thoughts and ratings. The way this works is we'll rate this out of 10 with a fun metric at the end. Who would like to go first?
Revisiting this album reinvigorated me. Honestly, of all the things that I did today, it was my favorite. And so much so that I had to run it back again. I think that
playing
not
chess.
only playing chess, well, pinning people down and ladder mating. At the end of the day, the album it sounds awesome. It makes me feel good. And on a track-to-track basis, the production, the verses, the quotable moments, the energy is awesome. If it were not for Mixtape, it would be almost a perfect album. I am in love with it. And I'm grateful for the opportunity for us to even talk about it and the invitation because it made me re-fall in love with the album. And I look forward to continuing to listen to it again and again. And I'm my rating, I'm sitting on like a 9 chances out of 10 probability, something like that.
Wow.
Like to decent 9 on it.
Wow. Fantastic.
Love. One of my favorite albums.
Yeah. I like similarly to Deryk, I just put like, so I played this album out. I listened to this like hundreds of times probably, and revisiting it like made me feel the same joy but since there's distance, I could like kind of re-experience it again. Like it kind of the meter kind of reset and I was able to enjoy it on a fresh new level. But then like the familiarity of like knowing all the songs, knowing all the lyrics and such. And then like appreciate like the joy of like, oh, it's as good as I remember it. It's in like the parts I didn't appreciate when I was in college I can appreciate more. And further beyond that, just driving around listening to this, like in the like driving to like Lincoln Park or whatever, like, you know, and like looking at the Chicago skyline and such. Like it was great. It just like it was a great. I looked forward to every day, like, oh, I get to listen to this again. I get to listen to this, and I didn't really examine it critically until today, and then, but I was just having such a great time enjoying listening to this album. So I'll give it a da de la out of 10.
Nice. I'm gonna hop in here. The resident cynic. Coloring book.
You're like Matthew McConaughey and like, you know, it's True Detective. Like,
is it an album? Is it a mixtape? You know, we got 10 Day, we got
Mixtape, like
acid rap. I'm like thinking about my relationship to Chance the Rapper. You know, I'm gonna probably listen to the Chance the Rapper Lil B bass freestyles mixtape before I listen to Coloring Book. But no, I revisited this and I listened to it a lot. It did not resonate with me like I feel like it did in 2016, but I also acknowledge all of what everyone is saying. I think that the production is incredibly clean. The features generally don't like miss a beat. You know, there's a couple debatable ones. It's amazing what he did with the choir on this album. Yeah, I would probably like to revisit this when the weather is literally warmer. Like, it's still a little chilly. This is kind of a summertime vibe. It's not really like chilly or like springtime vibes. So, you know, they say if you're going to give something a 7, then you should probably either give it an 8 or dip down to 6, because everybody's bias will say 7. So for me personally, I'm going to give this a 6.9 vocoder plugins in Pro Tools.
That's good.
Who was it? Like the first person I heard say that, it was like I think it was Kevin Samuels rip. He'd be like, rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10. You can't say 7. I think about that all the time.
Was that Kevin Samuels? I will retract my statement, and I will give Coloring Book an 8.
There we go.
Or
Let's
a 7.
go.
A 7 out of
wow, fantastic.
That's funny. What a pivot. Yeah, man. Like, it's been great being in Chance World like these last couple of weeks, and it's just a cool reminder that like you can be at your top, at your peak, and then reestablish a new peak. And I think like this is his first one, and so I'll give him a lot of credit for it. I think that the positivity is needed, and I'm glad that he stayed on mission, on brand throughout all the ups and downs. I'm gonna give this 8 old Wendy's out of 10 because Wendy got old.
Oh,
Sorry, Wendy got old.
Don't forget the happy thoughts.
wow. Straight observation I forgot, like in Blessings 2, the pirate from SpongeBob got sampled. Are you ready? Like, are you ready?
Wow.
Like,
whole lot of Are You Readies on the album.
yeah. Okay, well, that was our episode on Coloring Book. Deryk, what a treat! What a king shit over here. So like, what a delight to talk to you. Anything you'd like to plug?
Derapy podcast is available on wherever you get podcasts. But I'd prefer you watch on YouTube because that is what pays me. If you really love the content, you should become a member of the Derapy YouTube channel because it is $1 a month and you get to be a part of a members only Discord. You can holler at me whenever. You can give me music to listen to every Monday for Member Music Monday. It's a really wonderful community of like not weird people, which I'm very proud of. It's probably the safest Discord on earth, frankly.
Wow.
Barely anything ever happens in there.
So much bread is spread over
friend of the
there.
show. So much bread is spread over there. Friend of the show, our lovely host here is a member of the channel.
Oh
Plenty
yeah,
of perks, benefits that you get. It's the nicest dollar you'll ever spend.
Yeah.
But yeah, Derapy podcast. We drop episodes almost every single day at this point. Shout out my editor Deryk. Great guy. Could not do the show without him. But yeah, love you, mean it. Thanks for tapping in. Glad to be here. Hope you check out the show.
Yeah, you can check out my show and Derapy. Anytime like Deryk posts, I'll like post an episode yeah, and then you could just what's it called? You can follow me at Andrew Ambrose Lee on all platforms, Stanley at Snapasten, John at John Butts is here, Dakota down_with_fun. And Deryk, what's a final sentiment you want to leave the audience with?
Meet the music where it's at, okay? If you're gonna revisit something, put yourself back in that time. Don't think about what came after it. Just really embrace the moment and don't be like one of these weirdos on Twitter or one of these freaks on YouTube that's obsessed with charts and what's a classic and what's not and who's beefing and who's dissing. And if you like the music, just like the music.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
all I got for you. Love what you love.
Yeah. Well, you inspired me to listen to the Kid Rock album. Meet it where it's at. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a good day. Click. All right, bro.
Derek, you gotta
Radicalized
come on
me.
like